Welcome everyone. This is a session on question review and moderation. So why do we do question review? The very first step in the process for us is data entry in a Word template, and we need to do this because we have to upload it in the zip file form in the platform so that the teacher can finish uploading test much quicker, because as you know, in most of the exams the number of questions are more than 100, so we manually cannot do that in the application. That is why we do the manual data entry in the Word template. The template that we follow is different for different customers depending on the exams that they coach the students for. So as a sample, we have in front of us a standard 8 question paper which is of railways, and my apologies, a standard 8th grade question paper in front of us. So what we see in front of us, the very first thing on the top while entering data into the Word template will be the name, the description, the time given for the test, the country, which is by default India, grade, and then positive and negative marks. So what happens over here is, as soon as this data is entered, we go to entering the questions manually. So while entering the questions, one key thing to remember is, if this is the question, we would not want to make any kind of extra entries over here. Say for example, if I'm entering anything over here, I would not press an enter button after entering over here. I will click on the tab button and move on to the next option text. It is very important to follow the steps and do not click on enter, because what happens is when we click on enter, say for example, if we click on enter over here, it creates an empty space. And after the file is uploaded into the system, the empty space is shown in the question. I would like you all to see a test over here. I am going to show you a test which is in a draft mode. And once the zip file is uploaded in the system, this is exactly how the questions tab look. So what would ideally happen is, in the Word template, if we hit enter more than once, then an extra space is created between the two options, which is not possible for us to delete once the file is uploaded in the system. So it is important to take care of these minute things while doing the data entry in the Word template. So the second thing that we have to ensure is, as we have a question paper in front of us, a physical source which we can use to compare whether the data entered by us is accurate or not. So that is after the second step in the process is, after all the questions are entered, if at all we want to add an extra question, we can click on this and a question will be displayed for us. Once it is done, we can save it, and I would like you all to see a tool that I would like to display over here, which is called the Q extractor. It helps us to relieve, hold on 1 minute. As you can all see the tool in front of us, which is the second step which is followed. We take the Word file and we run it through the Q exporter, which converts the Word file into a zip file. As you can see over here, we click on the browse button and we choose the Word document which is mentioned over here. We click it, we open it. Once we open, what will happen is the process would run over here, and there would be 4 zip files, 4 folders created, and one of the folders will have the zip file. So once the zip file is created, what happens next? So when we come into the teacher account, we have a sample teacher account open for you here. So we click on the upload button. This is also one place where you can view the template. You can click on the template and the help file, which gives you all the detail on how to use the template to finish the data entry. So we click on browse, and what we do is, typically we would choose a zip file from the list that we have over here, and then we would upload it. I would like you all to see one upload over here. Give me 1 minute. So as you can see over here, we have some sample upload files. Once the upload file is chosen, what happens is it displays the name, and when we click on upload, the upload is successful. And when you see that the file is successfully uploaded, it exactly shows you the data which is entered in the Word template, but only difference is you see that data in the application. But it is commonly seen that some errors made in the Word template, if you have missed to spot them, the second level of check can be done in the application. Because we know that there are errors, that is why we do not directly publish the test. We keep it in the draft mode, and we have also enabled the editing in the draft mode. So what happens is when the file is uploaded, as you all can see, it looks like this. And on this page, you click on the edit button, we go to the questions tab, and once we go on the questions tab, we see all the questions in the preview mode. So the point of preview mode is exactly the view is as how the student would see the question, so that it would give the teacher an idea of how the question is going to look when the student is taking the test. But if you do not want to see this and you want to make any edits, then we switch off the preview mode and we enter the questions for editing. We have to choose the question which we want to edit and then make the edits over here. This is one more way that the errors can be spotted and the errors can be reduced to a minimum. Over here, say for example 1.64 is a wrong data which is entered. I would be able to edit it, and then I need to click on the save button, which is going to ensure that the changes are saved. So once this process is done, each and every question during the moderation, what needs to be done is each and every question should be clicked like this, and when the user chooses the question is displayed in a draft mode as well as in the preview mode. So you can switch on the preview mode, see if the changes are reflecting, and whatever changes we make over here are the permanent changes which cannot be reverted once the test is published. So please try to make all the corrections in the Word template before running it through the Q extractor over here. And once if it is run through the Q exporter, it is no longer a Word file, it becomes a zip file. Of course, we have a copy of the Word file, but before entering the application, the Word file needs to become a zip file in this particular tool by running it through this tool. The latest QEPT version was published on November 25th, 2015. You can look for it in the Google Drive, and please use the latest QEPT version while running the Word file through the tool Q Exporter tool, because we have updates which we constantly do in the versions, because we want to fix the bugs which were earlier seen in the QEPT tool. We are trying to include some other features in the QEPT tool which will help us track the spelling errors along with other minor errors which are easily missed while moderation. So please be sure to look for spelling errors, to look for if the question is complete. Sometimes the question is incomplete or one word would be missed, because of which the question would be incomplete. So please look carefully at the physical hard copy question paper that you have and compare it with what you see in the system. And for your convenience, we have the preview mode on or off. Please make sure you use that, and whatever changes you need to make, suppose if you have spotted an error like I showed you guys earlier, you can even go ahead and make the change over here. And whatever changes you make, please do not forget to click on the save button, because the changes are not registered if the save button is not clicked. So once this is done, what we have to do is go ahead and publish it, because that is the last. Be sure when you click on the publish button, because you would not be able to edit any question once the test is published. I would like to take your attention towards the test which is already published. This is exactly how the questions would look once they are published. They will be locked. They will not be visible in the preview mode. They will not be visible in the draft mode. You will not be able to make any edits to the question once the test is published. So be really sure that you have checked all the questions for data entry errors, for errors regarding any kind of copy paste errors. Avoid copy pasting unless it is absolutely necessary. Even if you do a copy paste, please make sure the place from where, the original place from where you are copying, the all the formatting of that place is erased, and please make sure that this text which is pasted does not have any formatting from its original place of copying. So please paste the text in its original format so that it does not contradict or does not clash with the formatting which is there in the application or in the Word template. So wherever, avoid copy pasting in the Word template, avoid copy pasting in the application, and if you absolutely have to do it, please make sure you paste it as plain text and not as it is. That would also help us to reduce some of the errors. And I believe we have reached the end of the session, so we would be happy to get feedback on you. We would be happy to answer any more questions that you might have. Thank you so much for attending the session. Hope this was helpful. Bye.